Welcome to today's explainer. If you've ever felt this massive, painful gap between the person you dream of becoming and who you actually are when you wake up on a normal Tuesday morning, well, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're diving into a centuries-old Japanese tradition that hits the nail on the head. It diagnoses exactly where this frustrating gap comes from, and way more importantly, gives us the precise tools to close it. We're going to break down an ancient samurai lesson that tackles the painful reality of having really big dreams, but kind of struggling with the daily effort to actually achieve them.
Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever felt that strange, super uncomfortable contradiction inside yourself? The feeling where your ambition is just enormous. Your goals are literally sky high, but your actual, tangible daily effort, it just never quite matches up. It's such a common modern struggle, right? Feeling ambitious, but for lack of a better word, lazy. But as we'll see today, this isn't exactly a new problem. The older Japanese traditions understood this condition deeply, and to really grasp their solution, we need to look at a pretty powerful story.
Part 1. Two swordsmen, one master.
Let's transport ourselves back to the mountains of old Japan, to a renowned sword school run by Master Genzo. Now, Master Genzo was famous all over for producing the absolute finest swordsmen in the land. One spring morning, two very different young men show up, both hoping to become great warriors. First, we have Kaio. Kaio was brilliant, he was eloquent, and he spoke so beautifully about his grand visions for the future and the warrior he'd one day become. Honestly, even Master Genzo was incredibly impressed. And then there was the second student, Ren. Ren was, well, entirely unremarkable. He was quiet, his words came slowly, and when asked about his big ambitions, he simply said he wished to become just 1% better than he was yesterday. That's it. Master Genzo watched these two young men over the course of 3 years, and what happened during that time reveals a really profound truth about ambition.
Part 2. The Trap of Grand Ambition. We're going to look at Kaio's story first, because his experience is the exact trap that most ambitious people are quietly living in today, often without even realizing it. Let's look at how Kaio operated. He woke up every single morning full of these magnificent, grand plans for his training. But when the actual moment to practice arrived, something strange always happened. He would find a reason to delay. Maybe the weather wasn't quite perfect for serious training, or his body felt just slightly tired. Or maybe he hadn't fully studied the technique well enough to practice it properly. He constantly told himself that he was just preparing carefully, that he was being thoughtful. He sounded disciplined, sure, but really, it was just a clever disguise for inaction.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the psychology behind Kaio's behavior. It's a phenomenon known as the fake reward trap. Every single time Kaio spoke about his ambitions and vividly imagined his future greatness, his brain rewarded him. It gave him this tiny feeling of satisfaction, almost like he had already accomplished something real. The dreaming itself became a comfortable, weakening substitute for the doing. It's wild, right? The more vividly he imagined the magnificent warrior he was going to become, the less his body felt the urgency to actually train. A part of his brain already felt the pleasure of having arrived. Ambition, when it's not connected to daily action, doesn't make you stronger. It quietly makes you weaker. It gives you the emotional rewards of progress without requiring any of the actual work.
As the grandfather of the source material beautifully puts it, a dream you only speak about is a debt you are quietly building against your own future. Wow. Just think about that for a second. When you constantly talk about what you're going to do without actually doing it, you are basically taking out a loan on your own potential. And as the source material warns us, one day, that debt comes due with interest. Unearned emotional rewards eventually leave you totally empty-handed.
Which brings us to Part 3, the way of small improvements.
So we go back to Ren, the quiet student whose approach was so modest his peers literally laughed at him. But his entire strategy can be summed up by a single number, 1. Ren made this tiny, almost unbreakable agreement with himself. Every single morning, no matter what forces of weather or motivation arrived, he would practice just one single sword form. Just one. His fellow students mocked him, obviously, saying real warriors train intensely for hours. But Ren understood a principle the samurai called the way of small improvements. He knew he couldn't control if he woke up feeling motivated. Motivation is like the weather. But he could absolutely control whether he performed one single form. The commitment was so incredibly small that no amount of tiredness or bad mood could give him a believable excuse to skip it.
And the results after 3 years? Staggering.
On day 1, Kaio's brilliant ambition obviously seemed vastly superior to Ren's tiny little practice. But the difference over 1,000 mornings was undeniable. The gap between speaking about a sword form and actually practicing one, repeated day after day, it became a chasm that Kaio could never cross. By the end of the first month, Ren's movement was automatic. By the end of the first year, his body was genuinely stronger, and that one form naturally became 2, and then 3. While Kaio's mastery remained sitting at 0, Ren achieved maximum mastery, purely through the quiet rhythm of a small commitment honored every single day.
Part 4. Action before motivation. What Master Genzo observed here completely contradicts how modern society views success, effort, and inspiration. The flawed modern view is basically that we should wait until we feel like working before we begin. We treat motivation as the engine and action as the result. But the samurai? They understood that this relationship runs exactly in reverse. Imperfect action creates momentum, which then generates motivation.
So the crucial point is this: motivation is not the spark that creates action, it's the flame that follows it. You do not wait to feel ready, you act, even poorly, even reluctantly, and the feeling of momentum arrives afterward, basically dressed up as the inspiration you were originally waiting for. The legendary swordsman Miyamoto Musashi lived this truth completely. He didn't rely on sudden bursts of dramatic effort. No, he relied on steady actions performed every day until a level of mastery quietly accumulated that no inspired beginner could ever even touch.
The great samurai teacher Yagyu Munori warned his students with this exact phrase: "The sword which waits for perfect conditions never leaves its sheath." If you wait for the right moment, the right mood, the right level of energy, or the right amount of preparation, you are going to be waiting your entire life. Meanwhile, the people who are willing to just begin imperfectly, they will calmly walk right past you toward the destination you've only ever dreamed about.
This brings us to Part 5, the practical samurai method.
Let's move to and see how this builds into actionable steps. We use the Kaizen way, a method of continuous improvement. There are 3 precise attacks against the traps that caught Kaio: shrinking your commitment, stopping the endless talking, and separating your action from your feelings. Let's look at each one of these really closely. Step 1. You must shrink your daily commitment until it becomes almost impossible to fail. Seriously, do not commit to 2 hours of focused work. Commit to 10 minutes, or to writing just one single page. Make the action so incredibly modest that your tired, unmotivated brain literally cannot find a believable excuse against it. This smallness isn't a weakness, guys. It is a brilliant strategy to bypass your own excuses. A tiny commitment that is never broken builds way more strength over a year than a massive commitment that collapses within a week.
Step 2. Stop rewarding yourself for talking. Remember that fake reward trap we talked about? Every time you speak at length about your grand ambitions, you are spending the emotional fuel that was meant to power your actual work. So you've got to make a quiet rule for yourself. Speak less about what you intend to become. Let the work itself be the only place your ambition is allowed to express itself. As the source material points out, the dreamer who talks endlessly grows weaker, but the practitioner who works quietly, they grow dangerous.
Step 3, you must completely separate your action from your feelings. On the mornings you feel inspired, you do your small practice. On the mornings you feel tired, unmotivated, and full of excuses to just wait until tomorrow, you do exactly the same small practice. True samurai strength isn't saying, "Oh, I feel like doing this today." True strength is saying, "I will do this whether I feel like it or not." The feeling is allowed to change, the action is not.
Years later, Master Genzo was asked which of his many students had taught him the most. Now everyone expected him to name a brilliant strategist like Kaio, but instead he named Ren, the quiet student with absolutely no grand vision and only a single daily form. Ren had understood the one thing that almost no ambitious person grasps in time. Greatness is not some mountain you leap onto in a single inspired moment. It's a mountain you climb through 1,000 small steps, taken on ordinary days, in ordinary weather, by an ordinary person who simply refuses to stop walking.
So if you're ambitious but lazy, please understand, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. You've just been waiting for a feeling that was never going to arrive on schedule. The way out of this trap is almost insultingly simple. So I leave you with this question. What is the one small daily action you will commit to today? Pick it. Do it exactly as you are, without waiting to feel ready, and then do it again tomorrow. That motivation you've been waiting for your whole life, it will eventually catch up to you. But only if you've already begun to walk. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Pick your small action and take your first real step today.